The racing industry is an exciting and diverse world in which to work. With the aid of simulcast, races such as the Vodacom Durban July, the J&B Met and the Sansui Summer Cup are broadcast around the world and watched by millions. These races are the result of work by a huge number of people and organizations.
Punta Arenas and Power King the last 100. Power King, Punta Arenas, eyeball to eyeball, Power King from Punta Arenas.
The horse racing industry actually incorporates anybody from any walks of life at any age group with any qualification. There's several ways that you can actually enter and work in a horse racing industry, through from non-experience with experience through learnership programs. We've got through the academies as a student as well that we actually bring you on board. The horse racing industry has got several sectors. One of them is the breeding side. This is where the magic happens when you start seeing the foals growing up. The next section is where it happens in the training side, where you've got your trainers, the jockeys putting in the hours, waking up at 5 in the morning. You've got the vets that are coming through. From the training centers, it culminates at the racetracks and a lovely, beautiful race day.
Brushing one another over the last 75 meters. So we're going to leave this to the stipendiary stewards, but there is a race review in progress.
We've also got the legislation side, where you've got the NHA that comes involved and the gambling board and several other legislative boards that come on board, where people can actually get involved in terms of careers. So whether you like to be a cook, whether you like to play around with IT stuff and apps, which you've got now, the currently fantasy racing coming up, or you just want to enjoy horses and you want to spend time with them outside, you can always just do that on the farms. So many career paths that people can actually follow once they're in racing. You don't have to actually stick into one field, so if you join in, there are different options and different levels that you can actually go into.
Not your typical job is perhaps the best way to describe work in horse racing, whether working directly with the horses or in an office. The variety of work available really does make the horse racing industry one that provides an opportunity for everybody of all abilities.
Career in racing is actually doing what you love every single day of your life.
The skills that an operator requires is to have good customer service. They need to have an ability to work under pressure, because everything on the race course is fast moving. They also need to have good mathematical skills, because they work with large sums of money, and they need to be accurate when they balance at the end of the day. They need to have a solid knowledge of our bet types, and they need to understand it so that they would be able to give the customers their bets accurately.
Number 1. Thank you very much.
You need to be very alert since you're working with money, and you need to be very patient when dealing with difficult customers. That helps a lot. You just need to be very fast when it comes to thinking. Since we count our own money, we don't use calculators at all.
We can add 50 paces on them.
We put them through an intensive 5-day theory program where they learn all the different bet types that we have, together with the rules and regulations of the company, to understand the different bets, how it needs to be taken on a terminal itself. They also go through a 5-day practical training where they come onto the race course and they meet with the customers, and they're able to do everything that they have learned on theory to put it into practice, practical training. The other trainings that they go through is to be able to work with money, to know how to count the money, to know how to bundle the money. So those trainings go through intensively, and how to deal with the cash. Another training that we focus a lot of attention on is customer service, how to deal with customers, to be polite and to communicate with them. how to deal with an irate customer. How do you ensure that when a customer leaves your window, he's extremely satisfied?
It's 495 plus 3.
You need to be able to communicate with them. You need to be able to talk with them in a way that they would not get offended.
Sometimes you get customers who approach you inappropriately, and you have to deal with that by telling the customer or going back towards the customer, maybe offering him another bet or something else, or maybe wishing him luck on his bet that he has already taken.
When the customers come up to you as a person or as a salesperson, talk to you badly, you should be able to accommodate them and talk to them in a way that they would understand.
The challenge that an operator would deal with is that when customers want to take their bets, they prefer to take their bets a few minutes before a race can start. And an operator is then put with the challenge to get this bet on first time right in order for us to achieve the goal of customer satisfaction. And that's usually quite challenging.
I'm a people's person, so I enjoy working with people. And here with people from different backgrounds, and I enjoy that. I get to grow through people. I get to rotate. I've been a betting assistant, team operator, and now I'm a supervisor. So it's just the rotation and growing through all the activities.
We have lots of opportunities for progress. You come in as an operator, and generally you will work as a part-timer on the race course. So you would get in the region of maybe 2 to 3 days a month. But the opportunities for you is that you can then get a full-time job in an outlet where you can work 5 days or 6 days a week in the different outlets outside of the race course. Thereafter, on the race course itself, you can become a supervisor where you earn more money, and then you're responsible for every venue. You could also move on to be an tote inquiries staff where you deal with the customers and you ensure that all the supervisors and operators are dealt with and given everything that's required for the successful running of the race meeting. They could also become a floor manager where they are responsible for all the customers on that floor together with the staff that work on that floor. I'm here 19 years. I started off as an operator. I moved on to become a tote inquiry staff. I then moved to be a controller in this department, and now I'm the manager. So I like the fact that you are never stationary in this company. So you're always moving and there's always room for improvement.
I enjoy my flexibility of the work. The company gives me enough time to study since I'm a student, and I earn extra money, and that is what I enjoy most.
150 place.
150 wins the number 4?
It's very fun to be here. You get to meet people from different backgrounds. I've met James Numalo and some other politicians, so that is very fun.